Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Rossi here. We are going to work with some new red words today. So there are some different materials you're going to need to have. The first thing, if you have a red crayon somewhere around the house, I found this twistable. It's probably closer to a pink color, but it's the best I have right now, so it's going to do the job just fine. You're also going to need 4 pieces of paper. I had some blue paper lying around the house. On the front side of each paper, I'm going to make 2 lines. And on the back side of each of those pieces of paper, I'm going to need 5 lines. You can make that ahead of time or you could make it as we go. So I have 4 pieces of paper that are set up in that way. 2 lines on the front, 5 lines on the back. And you're also going to need some kind of bumpy surface. I'm using a placemat that I realized I have on my kitchen table that is bumpy and textured and rough. I was actually even thinking about just using a paper towel because that has some texture to it. You could really come up with absolutely anything. Maybe even your tabletop is a little bit bumpy, and so you could put your paper over your tabletop. So just do the best you can. Look in your garage or in your pantry. Even like a cutting board might have some texture to it. So do the best you can with that, whatever you can find. So once you have those 3 things, you can pause this video if you need to, then we can get started. So we're going to take a look at the first word we're working with today. That word is the word special. We're going to do a few things with this word special. So first, let's talk about it for just a minute. Special means that it's something out of the ordinary. So I gave you a sentence that illustrates what the word special or how it might be used. So if it means something out of the ordinary or something that's kind of different and not typical, it could be used in a sentence like this. I made a special dessert for my son's birthday, and so he loves chocolate covered strawberries, and I don't make those too often, so it was a special dessert. It was something because it was his birthday and we were celebrating, and it's not something that I usually do. So we are going to work with the word special for a little while. That's the first word that we're going to take a look at. So I am going to ask you to, let me just show you what the word looks like first. I'm going to spell it for you on my paper. So on this top line, I'm going to write the word special, S-P-E-C-I-A-L. So there you have it. So that's our first word, special. And now I'm going to ask you to take that bumpy surface that you have. Let's see if I can make this bigger. And I am going to put my piece of paper on top of this bumpy surface. And then I'm going to use my crayon to write the word again on the line, now on top of the bumpy surface. So when I write the word, I'm also going to say the letters in the word. So I have S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. Very good job. So after you do that, you are going to hold the paper in your hand, and you're going to use your hand that you write with. So I write with my right hand, so I'm going to use my right hand, and I'm going to stand up. I'm going to ask you to stand up, but I'm going to sit down so you can see me. And I'm going to tap this word out on my arm like this. I'm going to start up at my shoulder, and I'm going to tap my arm for every letter that's in this red word. This is something that you're probably familiar with and you've done in school. If you're using your left hand, it's a little bit different. If you're using your left hand, then because you're a lefty, then you are going to actually tap from your wrist up to your shoulder. And that's the way we look at words. So think about what hand you write with. And so we're going to tap it out. So I'm going to hold the paper in my hand so I could see the word that I just spelled. I could see the word special. I'm going to look at it with my eyes, and I'm going to tap it out on my arm. So it looks like this. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Can you do that with me? S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. One more time. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. Very good. I'm going to put the paper back down in front of me. And now I'm going to trace over this word with my finger. And now that I wrote it on a rough surface, I can see that my crayon left little bumps there for me on the word. And so I'm going to trace this word with my finger that I wrote, and I'm going to say the letters as I trace over it. So it looks like this: S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. Let's do that together 2 more times. Let's trace our bumpy red word on our page. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. And one last time. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. Really good job. I'm going to take my bumpy surface, and in school we use a screen and we put the screen over our word. If I did that now, I wouldn't be able to see my word. So I'm going to put my bumpy surface just right next to my page so I can still see my letters and my word. And now I'm going to trace the word using my fingers on this bumpy surface. So it's going to look like this: S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. I'm going to do that for you again, but I'm going to hold it up. Okay, and you can do it with me. So get your bumpy surface ready. I'm going to look at the word in front of me, and I'm going to say the letters that make up the word. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. And one more time. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. All right, really good work so far. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is turn my paper over, and I have some lines waiting for me now on this side of the paper. I'm going to try to write the word special using the letters that I know make up the word. So here we go. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. So there I have it now, once on the back. And I'm checking to make sure that I spelled it correctly. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. Good. I'm going to write that 2 more times. And again, I'm going to say the letters as I write it. So follow along with me. Feel free to pause if you need to catch up or slow down. Here I go. I'm going to write my word 2 more times while you do it. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. Good. So you should have special written 3 times on the back of your paper. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think of a sentence that I'm going to create and make up, an original sentence that I could write using the word special in it. And I'm going to ask you to write a sentence of your own too. And so we're going to try to write as many words correctly that we know in this sentence, but the word we're really going to focus on is the word special because that's the word we learned today. So I'm going to write a sentence while you write yours, and then we can share it. Okay, here's my sentence. Today was special because I got a new puppy! Exclamation point. And I spelled special, S-P-E-C-I-A-L, special. What was your sentence? Good job, friends. That is our red word, special.